In a world divided between the rich and the poor, a secret organization is trying to tear down the wall that separates them. They believe, if everyone is equal, then why should the poor suffer so much? This is where our story begins, with a mysterious selection test. The chosen participants are brought into a strange facility, each wearing a small device behind their ear. These devices are used to monitor them during the process. The story is set in the future, where we see a new world divided into two parts. One part is known as Offshore. This is where all the rich people live. They have everything they need and complete freedom to do whatever they want. The other part belongs to the poor, who don't even have enough food to eat or a proper place to live. They survive in slums, far away from comfort, and their lives are filled with hardships. But they are given one chance to change their lives, an opportunity to become part of Offshore. However, to qualify for this chance, a person must be 20 years old. After turning 20, they have to go through a selection process. From the large population, the people living in Offshore choose only 3% of candidates who are allowed to live there. The rest, who fail to get selected, have to return to the slum area and continue their lives among the poor. The candidates are lined up one by one, and their ear devices are carefully scanned to make sure no one is cheating with fake implants. Among the participants is Joanna, a smart and observant girl. As the checking begins, she notices something strange. The boy standing in front of her, Raphael, doesn't seem to have any real device on his ear. Instead, he has some kind of marks or scratches there. Joanna quietly keeps this to herself. When Raphael's turn comes, surprisingly, he passes the scan. That means his device is genuine. Or maybe he's found a way to trick the system. Joanna's suspicions about Raphael start to grow. The selected group is taken into another room. On the tables are blocks, and they're told to build 9 cubes within 10 minutes. Everyone rushes to work, but Fernando, who is physically disabled, struggles to reach the blocks. Seeing this, Michelle, a kind-hearted participant, helps him by passing a few blocks his way. As time runs out, Michelle manages to build only 8 cubes. To her surprise, Fernando quickly builds the 9th one for her, helping her complete the task. But not everyone plays fair. Raphael, realizing he's short of 1 cube, steals a block from another participant and completes his set. Even though he cheats, he still passes the round. The others are furious. They call him out. Some even beat him in anger. But soon everyone realizes this test isn't just about strength or speed. It's about survival. The next challenge takes them to a new room. On the table lie 4 human mannequins, each with a different facial expression: anger, shock, sadness, and confusion. The participants are told to observe the expressions and explain what might have happened to each person, basically to tell the story behind their faces. Fernando goes first. He looks at a mannequin of a woman with a shocked face and says, "This woman had an affair. Her husband found out, and he poisoned her. That's why she's looking at her lover in shock." Everyone loves his story, but Raphael mocks him and says, "That's nonsense." Then he gives his own theory. Raphael says, "This woman isn't shocked because of poison. She's allergic to silver. Everyone around her is wearing silver jewelry, but she's wearing a glass ring and a wooden necklace. She's looking at that man because he's a doctor, the only one who can save her." Curious, the group checks the drawer nearby, and indeed they find human body diagrams showing that the man really is a doctor, but something still doesn't fit. The woman's expression doesn't quite match Raphael's story. That's when Joanna, the smartest of them all, quietly observes and says, "This woman is blind." Everyone turns to her, stunned. She continues, "That's why her face shows no real emotion. She isn't reacting because she can't see what's happening." They open the woman's drawer and find books for the visually impaired, proving Joanna's story right. The group passes the round. Meanwhile, the chief watching them on the surveillance cameras seems impressed, but also suspicious. The chief leaves for a while, telling his assistant, a new female employee, to keep an eye on the participants. But the assistant starts watching him instead. She sees him sneaking out of the building, changing clothes, and heading toward the slum area. She realizes that the chief is hiding something, but without evidence, she stays silent. The next challenge begins, and this one is deadly. The remaining participants enter a room with 6 chairs. They are told, "You are all together now, but only 5 can move on. One of you must be eliminated. Nobody wants to make the decision." Raphael steps up and says, "I have a coin. I can buy my way out." But the others, furious at his arrogance, attack him. At that point, someone suggests, "Let's vote." Everyone votes to eliminate Raphael, but then Michel manipulates the group, saying, "No, we should eliminate Joanna. She's too smart. She'll ruin our plans." Joanna looks at Raphael. She knows his secret, the truth he's been hiding all along. Raphael, sensing this, suddenly changes sides and supports Joanna. The group finally decides to make the elimination random. They tie ribbons, and the one with the shortest ribbon will be out. When the ribbons are measured, the shortest one belongs to Joanna. She is chosen for elimination, but Joanna isn't done yet. In a final moment of courage, she steals a coin from another participant and uses it to escape the deadly room. As alarms blare and chaos erupts, Joanna runs toward the exit, desperate to reach the truth, desperate to find her brother, who took this same test last year and never returned. And that's how this haunting, mysterious story ends, with Joanna disappearing into the unknown, leaving behind questions that no one can answer. And that, my friends, was the story of a society divided by wealth, a test designed to break human morality, and a girl brave enough to defy it all. So, what do you think? Did Joanna survive? Was Offshore real, or just another lie? Tell me your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this.